My kingdom for a dishwasher that works. Hey garden maters, welcome to Corner Homestead. So I'm back in the kitchen. I'm going to go ahead and prepare my neighbor's recipes. And she just simply has it titled Cheesy Chicken and Potato Casserole over Rice. Now I thought, it sounds good, but potatoes and rice together? That could be a bit starchy. But I don't know. I'm going to give it a try. And we'll see just how it's going to taste. Now I do see one ingredient right off the bat that I'm going to substitute, and that is the Parmesan cheese. I'm going to substitute it with Pecorino Romano instead. Just think it has a better taste. So let me show you exactly what you're going to need. There is some prep time involved, so let's get started. So what you'll need for this recipe is really pretty basic things. You're going to need chicken, any type of cut of your choice. I'm going to be using the chicken thighs. I have 8 of them already cleaned and sitting in my sink waiting for me to work with them. I have taken the skin off of my chicken. I just prefer it that way. You can leave it on if you like, but to me the skin just adds a little bit more fat to the dish, so I really don't want to keep it in there if I don't have to. Gonna need 1 can of cream of chicken and 1 can of cream of mushroom. Again, they're not the Campbell's brand, but they work just as well. It's the Save-A-Lot brand. If you know me, I don't really buy the name brand items. Just like I don't know why I'm wearing this shirt today. I have no idea. Trust me, no idea. You're going to need a little bit of cheese. Again, the choice is to your liking. I do use a little bit of Italian cheeses, the shreds, and I'm going to be using a little bit of the Pecorino Romano today. If you want to put broccoli into this dish, you certainly can. It is optional. I think today I'll just leave the broccoli out. Going to need a little bit of salt and pepper, a little bit of butter, a little bit of oil of your choosing so you can fry the chicken for a little bit on the stove. I'm just going to use olive oil. So one other thing I'll be using is a little bit, just a little of the seasoning. If you follow my channel, you know I just love this seasoning. It's the complete seasoning that I buy from BJ's. It's just the best. It has everything in it. Not a sponsor, but if they want to make me one, I'll gladly accept. So let's get started on making this chicken. If I have forgotten anything, I'll tell you as we go along. But let's get started on the preparation because it does take a little bit of time to prep everything before we can get it into the oven. One other thing you will need, I don't have them out here right now, is potatoes. You can either make them fresh and mash the potatoes. I happen to have a few day old potatoes left over, about 2 pounds worth in there. You just want enough to line the bottom of your casserole dish, whatever you're going to be using. And I have just enough, I believe, that it'll do the trick. Let's get started. The very first thing we're going to do is add 2 tablespoons of butter into our pan. And like I said, I'm going to use my olive oil. So I'm just going to drizzle in enough to give it a good coat on the bottom. Can't really say how much to use because it's going to depend on what size pan you're using. You just want to make sure the bottom is well coated. So while the butter is melting and the oil is heating up, I have all my chicken cleaned. I've went ahead and taken off the skin as best as I can. My sink is very well clean before I do this. I will also clean it very well after I'm done. It's just the way you have to do things. So we're going to take this now that it's laid out, and I'm going to go ahead and put some salt and pepper all over it. Make sure you coat it very well, but don't overdo. Once it's in the pan, I'm going to put it in this side down, and then we'll salt and pepper the other side. So now that everything is hot, go ahead and get our chicken in. Start getting it fried. Salt and pepper side down. And again, I'm using 8 chicken thighs, but you can sure use any cut you like, and you don't have to use 8 of them as well. I won't get all 8 of them in here, but that's okay. So once they're in, go ahead and give the other side some salt and pepper. So now we're going to fry these between 15 to 20 minutes on each side, depending on the cut of chicken you're using. Okay, so now that we've cooked this for as much time as we need to, like I said, it's not completely done, but it is like 2/3 of the way done. So we're going to go ahead and remove all the chicken. I'm going to put it back here on my plate. And now this leftover juice in here, I'm going to go ahead, well, it's water and it's nasty. We're going to go ahead and drain that back out. Leave just a little bit with the seasoning. Like I say, you don't want to leave a whole lot, just a little bit. Now we're going to add our can of cream of mushroom and cream of chicken. This is the cream of chicken. Now the cream of mushroom. I'm going to fill up the can with some milk. Go ahead and add 1 can of milk to this. Just want to rinse out the can fairly well to get out everything that's inside. Go ahead and dump it in. Gonna add just a little bit more milk because you want it to be equal to about 2 cups of milk. And now I'm going to take my Pecorino Romano cheese, and I'm going to add about 4 tablespoons of the cheese right into the dish. We're going to let this cook until it gets nice and creamy, and while it's doing that, we're going to start on the casserole dish. So I have my 9x13 casserole dish. I went ahead and gave it a light spray, even though I don't think it's going to need it because it's glass. If you're using a metal dish, you definitely want to give it a coating of cooking spray. Now these are my leftover potatoes that I had from before. I did heat them up in the microwave just so they would be soft and pliable. This is about 2 pounds of potatoes left. So we're going to go ahead and layer them into the bottom of the dish, and then we want to spread them out and make it all nice and smooth. Okay, I think that is probably about as good as I'm going to get it. So to the top of the potatoes, I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle on a layer of my complete seasoning. This is where we're going to start to build the flavor. Not going to make it very much, just a little. And now we're going to take all of our chicken and we're going to go ahead and layer it right on top of the potatoes. Now if you wanted to add broccoli or peas or any type of vegetable to this, this is where you would do it. You would just sprinkle them over top. I'm not going to add anything. I'm just going to leave it the way it is. We're just going to have it like this. So our next step is to add our cheesy Campbell soup sauce to this. another little layer of the complete seasoning mix, and we're going to top it with the Italian style cheese, shredded cheese. So this is it. We're going to go ahead and cover this up, and then we're going to get it into the oven. So here we go. We're going to put it into the oven. I did stick it on this old cookie sheet and lined it just in case there's any spillage, because I didn't use my thick or my deep casserole dish. Rather be safe than sorry. That way I don't have to clean the inside of the oven as much. So into a 350-degree oven. Gonna bake it for at least 45 minutes to 1 hour, but most likely it's gonna need the full 1 hour. 350. You'd think I was feeding an army for as heavy as it is. It might be. My kingdom for a dishwasher that works. So I just checked the dinner that's in the oven. It's been an hour and it is extremely soupy. So the recipe does say that you could make rice on the side and put this over the rice. I wasn't going to do that because I thought that's a lot of starch. Rice and potatoes, but after looking at it, I think I'm going to have to. So I did put some rice on. We'll see. I sure hope it tastes, it smells really good, but I sure hope it tastes better than it looks. Okay, garden maters, so as you can see, this is how it came out of the oven. The chicken is done. It did run over the edges, so I'm glad I protected the baking dish. I'm glad I put it on a baking dish because it did run very much. But it's very, very soupy, so I'm not sure. Went ahead and made the rice to go along with it. So, we'll see. So here it is, garden maters. Looks like a big mess. I did put everything over the rice, like it says to do. I did manage to get the potatoes, but it's just so soupy it's really a mess coming out. So let's give it a taste and see how it's gonna. Smells really good. I gotta say, it smells good. So let's say. It's not bad. Tastes like it needs a little bit more salt. Let me taste it with just the potatoes. Tastes a lot better with the potatoes. But with the rice, it tastes like it needs a little bit more salt and pepper because of the rice. You take a piece of the chicken, whoo, and you can definitely taste the pecorino romano and all the Italian cheese. It's really good that way. Ooh. Okay. It may be a mess. Pretty darn good. A little more salt and pepper. And if I would have put the broccoli or peas into it, it would have been really good. So hey, sometimes the messiest meals can be pretty darn good, huh? So like I said, it really made a mess on my pan. Everything ran over. I should have used a deep dish, casserole dish, and I didn't, but I think it would have been better. It wouldn't have ran over. Especially if you're going to add the broccoli or peas or any vegetable to it, please make sure you use a deep dish. It may still run over, I don't know, but you risk less of a chance from doing it that way. So yeah, not too bad, not too shabby considering. As for this recipe, I hope you give it a try. Like I said, it's not going to look too good, but it tastes pretty darn good. So just another recipe. I'm putting it in with the Cooking with Campbell's because it was using the cream of chicken and cream of mushroom soup. So it will be episode 4 of Cooking with Campbell's, even though it's not in the Campbell's cookbook. Hope it makes sense. If you haven't already subscribed, please do. Love to see you as part of the community. Love to watch the Garden Maters grow. So until next time, I love y'all. Take care. God bless. And I'll see you on the next video. So I just want to let you know that this is definitely one of those dishes that it is to your preference. Now, I ate my dinner with the little bit of rice. Tony liked it better without the rice and just the potatoes. Seemed like once it sat for a little while, it wasn't so soupy. So that was a good thing. But all in all, it was still very good because I did not think it would be, especially the way it looked. Very filling. One piece of chicken, a little bit of rice, a little bit of the potatoes, and I can blow up now. So yeah, make it your own, Garden Maters. As I always say, give it that signature, but this is definitely one that you eat the way you like it. I think it's a win-win for everybody. You can have your rice or not.